Hello and welcome back to part 6, video 6 of the 8-part video series I'm calling 2022 Let's Preptober Together. Hi, I'm Kimberly Grymes, a science fiction and fantasy writer and author of ISOLDESSE, along with the companion novella, The Red Umber Forest. I also have several published short stories out. I'll leave all the details of each in the description below because I want to jump into this video. I hope by now you're feeling really good about the prepping process you've done for your story. I mean, I know I feel really good about my story, my short story. Just a really quick recap of what this series is about. I am using my Preptober checklist from my Etsy shop to plan out my NaNoWriMo writing project. This is an 8-part video series, so if you haven't watched the previous videos, I highly recommend watching them first before moving forward because we've done a lot of work in the first 2 weeks already, so definitely check out those videos. We are at the end of week 3. And we are about to round the corner and start heading into week 4 for that finish line of Preptober. Exciting things are happening and you're getting ready to write that story for NaNoWriMo. I know I am. It has taken me a few years to realize that you don't have to set that standard 50,000 word count goal. You set whatever you want. Like I'm doing a short story, my NaNoWriMo project is for 10,000 words. And you figure out how much you can do for each writing session based on if you want to do every day, Monday through Friday only, whenever you can. So again, you figure out when you can write and then kind of figure out what's your word goal. And then that gives you an idea of how many words you should hit for each writing session. Okay, so for the last bunch of checkboxes that we've had to do require a lot of time and energy. So now let's do something a little fun. Last 2 checkboxes in week 3, we are going to get a notepad and put together a playlist. Who doesn't like putting together a music playlist? Yay! Now, you're probably thinking, why the heck do I need to have a separate video just to buy a notebook and make a playlist? Well, I'm gonna tell you why. So let's jump into that first one, get a notepad. Okay, with notebooks, there's basically 2 options. You have the physical notebook or you have notes you can take on your computer. So I'm just gonna start with the physical stuff right now. I always have an abundance of pretty notebooks lying around, always. But for this, I did pick up just a regular 1 subject notebook that I will be using for my short story and to take notes for the novel that this companion short story will belong to in that world. I also have on my Etsy shop this very handy dandy notebook. It's a bullet, so it's like, I don't know if you can see that. It's bullets. And basically this has 16 writing prompts or checks or things you want to make sure that are in your story, when you're writing your scenes. Some other things that I recommend, not required, you can do whatever you want, but I have an abundance of stuff. Of course, Post-it notes you should always have on hand because I leave Post-it notes all over the place. These are kind of like Post-it notes. I don't use them too often, but they're good to share. These I absolutely love. They're little tabs and they're sticky tabs that I use in my notebooks to mark different sections or whatnot, for research or notes or whatever. Other things that I have, some wasabi tape, don't use that too often, but I have it just in case I want to get creative. Little clips to, mark your notebook. Always good to have this stuff on hand. highlighter. And then my trusty colored markers, but they're markers. They're like felt pens, so they don't bleed through. I absolutely love these color pencils. I use all this stuff too for my daily planner stuff when I do my my Clever Fox daily planner. But anyways, it's always good to have on hand when you're getting ready for NaNoWriMo. Okay, because I have a bit of a cold and I'm not feeling very well, I am just going to jump onto my computer and show you some of my favorite electronic apps that I use on my desktop and that are interchangeable with my smartphone. They sync to my smartphone. So let's just go do that. My go-to is Trello. I love how I can create multiple kinds of boards for writing projects, marketing, author platform stuff, and then lists within those boards. Everything is organized, and this is my go-to. Other applications that I've heard from other authors that like are Notion, ClickUp, and Evernote. Whichever you use, most of these are able to sync to your smartphone, but double check. And now you know. Sometimes it's the simple tasks that get overlooked and underrated at how important they are to a project. Now, because I can't go into Spotify and pick out music that represents the characters or overall story mode for this story that I'm prepping and share them with you here on this video because of copyright laws, I can go over why I think music holds so much value when prepping and motivating you to write your story. So that is what we're going to be listening to now. Okay, music playlists and why they're important. I know for me, hearing a song motivates me or inspires me to write certain scenes, bring out certain emotions. So I like to frequently listen to certain songs that I've saved when writing a story. So I definitely recommend it to others when they are writing a story to be listening to songs or be listening, to music and just kind of create playlists. I know Spotify allows me to create playlists and I can rename it to like a character's name or a story. I do pay for the family membership for Spotify, so I'm not sure if the free version allows you to create playlists. I can't remember. And I know there's other ways you can create playlists in different music platforms, whether you have iPhone or whether you use Amazon Music or other musics. Or you can use something like Trello to keep track of certain songs that, remind you of certain characters or scenes. But anyway, just listening to the music really helps motivate and inspire me. When it comes to music, you do have to be careful with copyright issues. When you listen to music in your car, wherever, that's fine. You can listen to it, help you get motivated and inspired and remember, your passion for a certain scene. But when sharing, like in a book trailer or on social media, you're not really permitted to use certain musics. I know on like Instagram, in Reels, you can use certain musics. On YouTube, I think they allow up to like 15 seconds for certain music, but you have to be careful when it comes to the copyright laws for music. There are some royalty-free, commercial-friendly, music. YouTube, I think, has some, I think it's footage crate or something. I'll have to look it up and I'll put it in the description below. Even Canva has some royalty-free music that you can look up. It's not necessarily going to be like music you'd hear on a radio, but it's instrumental or it's got vibes to express certain emotions or what you're trying to get in a scene, which can also be helpful and motivating. So check out a lot of those royalty-free options. Now, I have seen some authors share their playlists on their websites or, sharing a link through social media that directs people to, say, a Spotify playlist where they could listen to music that represents their story or a character. And I think I'm going to try this. I'm going to try it with my short story. I'm going to pick out some songs that really represent this story. I'm going to create a playlist, and then I'll share it in the description below. And it's just another way. It's like to find that middle ground where you can still use music and you can share it, but you're doing it legally. Hopefully you can really just take some time and listen to some music, create a playlist. That way, if you get in a rut or you're stuck with a scene and you're like, I don't know what to write, or I don't know how this character, is feeling, just listen to the song, play it in your car, in the evening, while you're in the shower, wherever, and just kind of really listen to the words and listen to the music, and hopefully you'll get some inspiration. It may not work for everyone, hearing a song and getting new story ideas or ways to enhance your scenes through music. But I find it so extremely helpful whenever I hear a song or something that it really speaks to me about a character. Okay, that wraps up for video 6, week 3, the last 2 checkbox in week 3 on our Preptober checklist. Thank you again for watching the 2022 Let's Preptober Together series. Don't forget, there's a 20% sale currently running for all of my digital download listings in my Etsy shop for the entire month of October 2022. So if you want to go grab your copy of the Preptober checklist, now is the time. Also, be sure to check out my books and the short stories I've published either on Goodreads, Amazon, or my author website. There are excerpts for all of my published works on my author website. And don't forget to show some love for this video and ring that bell if you want to stay in the loop for future videos. Remember to keep reading, keep writing, and keep moving forward. And get ready, because NaNoWriMo is coming up.